You're live.
We are live.
Well,
Right there. Okay, welcome to the end of the session, otherwise known as Bedlam. We are going to take up what bill is this? This is 211. It has a bunch of fees for data brokers and a $50,000 appropriation, which will get it set across the hall. But just wanted to let the Secretary of State, there's a significant increase in the registration fee, like from 100 to 900. Just wanted to hear why that's necessary, or if it's necessary. It's the floor is yours, David. You know how this goes.
Hi, can you hear me and see me okay?
You're a little soft.
We're turning the volume up. Go ahead. Speak.
Hear me now, is that better?
Wow.
David Hall, Director of Business Services Division, Vermont Secretary of State. Sorry, I'm not there in person. I just came straight from another meeting. So this is H211, the bill that now relates to data brokers and looks like ed tech software providers as well. On the fee piece, yeah, a couple of points. I mean, the registration currently for data brokers is only $100. And as originally adopted many years ago, maybe 7 now, really just a notice filing to sort of build a census of who the data brokers are operating in the state, with sort of a minimal amount of information provided at this point. So the expansion of the filing and the process in this bill, and then subsequent enforcement and sort of review are all predicated on an expansion of regulation in this state, more akin to what California is doing. We are not going as far as they are in the sense that they have the one-stop automatic deletion mechanism that was built directly by California and rolled out to the public. But that's also a much more costly and complicated process, which is why there's a study and the appropriation. But I will note that California's fee for registering data brokers is around $6,600 a year. So we're not going as far as them as the fee. We're also not going as far as them as the service. But this legislation will require us to completely rebuild our data broker filing workflows with our IT vendor. It will require us to also repurpose or refashion a new parts of our own website. So we basically operate as a Secretary of State's public website. Each division has its own page with a series of sub-pages and information. And then there's the online business filing system itself, which sits separate from that. We'll need to do work in both to accommodate this. And then, of course, as always, there's ongoing costs associated with that IT work. And then the last piece is this fee increase also anticipates more enforcement by the Attorney General's office and closer cooperation between our office and theirs concerning registration and enforcement. So right now, we do not have the investigatory or regulatory enforcement apparatus to, verify the information that's coming in to our system. So we will build the repository, we will build the public-facing database and filing mechanism, and then we will work with the AG's office, who will basically compare our registration framework against California's and any other states that also adopt a comparable framework, and then use that to, ensure not just that the people who are supposed to be registering do so, but also that the information that they're providing is accurate, that, you know, they're complying with their own policies, they're complying with our privacy laws, et cetera. So that enforcement piece, which will most likely be the subject of an MOU between Secretary of State and AG, is sort of the rest of the fee component.
So
David,
shouldn't it?
David, if I could just add something to what you just said to confirm that my understanding is correct, because I am reporting this bill. I think part of what this $50,000 is also meant to do is to look at California, which has a $6,600 registration fee and probably the most sophisticated deletion mechanism website currently available. Consumers can go on there, find their name, and through a very meticulous process, have their data deleted. So what part of the thinking was in us removing the deletion mechanisms from this bill was to have that effort through your consultants in your office to also explore, if, as I understand other states are thinking about, tacking onto, piggybacking, coordinating with California, because that is a very expensive proposition to try to stand up a redundant site that California has. Am I at all correct in some of the thinking on this topic from your perspective?
100% correct. You know, the problem with IT projects, as you probably are all painfully aware, is to build what they have cost what it costs, regardless if you're California or you're Vermont. So, you know, I don't remember the exact figure now off the top of my head, something to the order of $4 or $5 million just to get that in place, much less operate it and enhance it as, you know, needed. So we're definitely not committing at this point to reinventing that wheel. There are a few different options to execute an opt-out mechanism at the state level, and whether that means we, you know, literally tie into the California system with some sort of Vermont validation, or we do a multi-state consortium, or we come up with some sort of private mechanism. I mean, that's the purpose of the study, but I think that is the next step in data broker registration and operation, is building out that compliance mechanism where the state, you know, plays a role in helping facilitate the opt-out. So absolutely correct, Senator. That's the purpose of the study, is really to assess the how, and then the operational costs and enforcement apparatus is its own fee-based construct, which is, you know, comparable to what we have for telemarketers, for amusement ride operators, a few other oddballs.
John, I'm gonna cut you off because you're gonna have to do this speech across the hall to the appropriation. We have 5 minutes to get this bill out of here. And the testimony from you is that there is increased workload and all kinds of tech adjustments that need to be made that will require that increase from $100 to $900 registration. Like, summing that up correctly?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, thank you. Committee, are there any other questions?
Ready to make a motion if you're comfortable. I'm happy to report this as a reporting underlying bill.
I would be more than happy to have you do this. I think you're going to have to take some vote.
I would move favorably H211 as received from Senate Economic Development and House and General Affairs.
Senator Chittenden has moved that we would report H211 favorably. As sent to us from Economic Development, Housing, and it used to be called miscellaneous. Is there any further discussion?
Well, the only question that I've got, and I saw David Paul's hand was up, and that is there anything wrong with this bill that would suggest to us it is not wise to pass it right now?
Okay,
There was, and we fixed it.
Just to make sure, I'd like to make sure. Again, I hate this end of session rush where it's where we make mistakes.
we all,
Where in the bill is Pete the Blues, for example.
The biggest concerns was with the mandated deletion mechanism, which we have stripped out.
okay. David, anything we should do on this bill?
I really apologize. It's not related to the fee, but section 4, as it came from economic development, takes effect July the 1st of this year, and it really needs to be at the earliest, January 1st of 27. So whether that happens, in this committee or somewhere down the line, I would just humbly request and tell you, like, the reality is we'll have to build section 4 ed tech, so that can't realistically go live until January.
So, yeah, Rick Sagel with Legislative Council, approach will likely request contingency of funding for that 50,000, so they'll have an amendment likely anyway. So if you all want, I can request that.
That would make it easier since I've already got a
Sure.
motion to approve on the table.
Sure.
Okay, so that will get dealt with across the hall. We need to get it over there ASAP. Okay, it has been moved that we approve H211 as it was sent to us. Further discussion, further amendments with the understanding that they will get changed across the hall. I'm gonna say, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. I'm seeing that is 4-0-2. You can check the appropriate names to the ayes. Thank you, committee. You get 10 more minutes off. We'll go back on the floor. I will report our concern with that $103,000 shortfall to the cannabis board, but at this point in the session, we'll let everybody deal with it. It's not your fair process.
You want.